This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted once again to be joined by Dave Coldwell. Dave, first off, before we talk about Conor Benn, how are we?
I'm very good, mate. Thanks. Yeah, really good.
Right, straight into it. Conor Benn didn't waste any time tonight. No. Sort of people talking about him being a tricky southpaw, Chris Van Heerden, but he worked that out in the first round. Second round, he just put it straight on him. How impressed were you with Conor Benn tonight? Very
impressed. He did what he had to do. It's very difficult on nights like this where you're up against somebody where everyone's expecting you to blow him out anyway. Because if you don't blow him out early, then everyone says, it wasn't as good as what we thought, or you should have got rid of him earlier. If you do blow him out earlier, everyone says, well, that were a waste of time. I told you we were going to knock him out. So it's a no-win situation. All it is for Conor Benn is another night where he goes out there, he's faced to southpaw, figured him out very, very quickly. The finishing sequence was very, very good because he actually adjusts his feet to get that right hand straight down the pipe, which puts Van Heerden rocking back to the ropes, closes the distance, and then the little uppercuts and then a short hook that finished it. Not much room, could have smothered himself but didn't. Very, very good finish.
When we talk about Conor Benn, a lot of people are talking about who's the big fight going to be, and he needs to fight Evan Easton, this, that and the other, but I think for the inside world in boxing knows that he's getting moved at quite a good pace, at a decent pace. But what's his next step now? Who would you like to see him going in with? Talks of Adrian Broner, but we don't know how reliable he is in terms of getting ready, but obviously...
I don't get why people talk about Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, when was the last big fight he was in?
Big fight?
Yeah.
Pacquiao.
When was that?
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah, and I just
think it's more obviously he's a numbers guy, isn't he? He will do numbers. You would have thought.
Yeah, I suppose if you're looking at numbers, but if you look at you've got no reliability there because 1 minute it looks like he's having a breakdown, and it looks like he needs help, and boxing seems to be the last thing that he should be doing. And the next minute they're talking about him fighting Conor Benn. I'm not a fan of that fight. Listen, if it gets made, will I watch it? Of course I will, because it's that intrigue. Because Broner at super featherweight was awesome. Broner at lightweight, I think he's a four-weight
world champion. Yeah.
But you forget that. Brilliant fighter in his day. He's too unreliable. And Conor Benn's got a career that is hurtling towards the top. And he needs the next. Algieri and Van Heerden have been perfect fights for him. I thought he was very, very impressive against Algieri. His boxing brain to line up the finish, and then tonight the finish he adjusted to the southpaw. But it's Van Heerden. We knew he was old. We knew he was going to be fragile. We knew that. So he still needs that test before he gets up to elite level. For me, Danny Garcia.
Perfect fight.
I like the Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia will switch your lights out if you make a mistake. Switch your lights out. So Conor's got to be smart. He's got to listen to Tony and be smart and intelligent. Show his intelligence that he needs at elite level. It's not just a case of rushing out and bombing people out. He can't do that at elite level. So he's got to show his smarts in that fight. But also, Danny Garcia doesn't box at a pace that's going to stop Conor from thinking and make him press that panic and make him start swinging. He's going to be able to control the pace because Garcia is not a 100-mile-an-hour fighter. Garcia is a fighter that'll make you make a mistake and then pop you. So that, for me, I like that fight for Conor because there's always that element that he could get his light switched out, but also can you navigate that minefield? And if he beats a Garcia, then you got to say, go on, son. There's you go. There's your crack. Off you go.
Completely agree with that analysis. I've been saying Danny Garcia for a while, and he needs a fight to come back in as well. But right, quickly, I know I just heard you say you're not going to give me a prediction for next week, but let's just talk about what a spectacle it's going to be. 94,000, it's fucking huge. Yeah, how excited are you? Obviously, someone who's in boxing, but just to be there for it, because Dillian Whyte deserves his crack, and it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I think it's exciting. 94,000 people at Wembley Stadium. I love Wembley Stadium anyway, but to be there for a boxing event, I've been lucky enough to be before for a boxing event there a couple of times, and it's amazing. But to have 94,000 people, that's going to look spectacular, and just be part of history. It's going to be amazing. The fight itself, I think two domestic fighters, two British fighters fighting for a world title. Lennox Lewis against Bruno. Yeah. Is that the last one? This is bigger because he's in front of 94,000 people, and it's both men are current and huge and have great wins on the record. Yeah, so. It's a real good fight. It's a real good fight.
Dave, I can't wait, and I'll see you down there hopefully. Thanks for talking to Into Boxing again. You always give us some of your time, and yeah, appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Nice one.